What's up guys, this is Evan with Backwoods Adventure Mods. Today we're going to walk through an installation of our new 2nd, 3rd Gen Tacoma DRIFTR series roof rack. The rack's really adjustable, it's modular, it's 1/4 inch aluminum. We've got these beefy 1x3 extrusions that are basically infinitely adjustable thanks to this slot. One of the things that I think really sets it apart is this rear fairing. It's also aluminum, it's contoured to the shape of the cab, and it has this little beaver tail that gives it some strength while allowing it to clear the XM antenna. Also, we've got some knockouts or cutouts on the rear fairing, so you can trim the little tabs and install an LED backup or work light, like the Baja S2 for example. And we've also got these holes for some handles, or if you want to bolt on an external handle, the Agency 6 works. All right, let's start with what's in the box. So first you've got your front fairing, rear fairing, compatible with the XM antenna, and this universal cutout for lights like the Baja Design S2 or pretty much any 1x2 stud mounted LED light. Side panels, 1/4 inch aluminum, and these beefy 1x3 aluminum extrusions. Of course, we've got some edge trim, the sealant, the roof mounts, and your hardware kit broken up by which stage of the install process that you're in, and the spacers. Let's get started. Step one is prepping the roof. We're going to temporarily take off this weather strip so that we can access the existing holes in the roof. So we're going to use a trim tool like this and pop this back part up just a little bit so that we can get under the weather strip, and it's just stuck down with some kind of double-sided tape in a few places. So if you look right here, you can see a thin piece of tape that's been painted over, and you can see that there's a round hole in the middle. If we expose that hole, there's threads under it. You can just tear off what you need, or you can take the entire strip of tape off that you like, but there's a single hole in the center, and then at the front and the rear there's a double hole. So that's the first thing to do. At the front it just snaps out of some clips, so we'll set that aside, and there's your front 2 holes. So we're going to drill some holes in this weather strip for our spacer to go down through. I know that if you don't want to do that, you can just cut the section of weather strip out and use a little extra tape, but we're going to start with drilling the holes because I think that's going to give us the cleanest finished look. So as far as where to drill, I like to set it just outside of the channel and then eyeball where these holes are, and we'll use a marker to mark that location. So I'm going to start at the back, put a little mark. Continue that on down to the middle one. We're also going to double check that with some measurements on the tape measure, just to be sure. All right, we're going to drill these holes in several steps. We need to get a hole that's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter because that's the spacer that we're going to use that's going to drop down through there. Today I've got a 7/8 inch hole saw bit. So first, we have to trim away some of this on the inside. So what we're going to do is transfer our marks to the back side, and then we want to take away about 1 inch or so total, so roughly about 1 inch for that one and about 1 inch or so for this one. So we're going to make cuts on those lines. What you'll find is you can't go all the way through the middle because there's a steel rib in there that we have to cut through. Steel or aluminum, some type of metal. So then we're going to come down through the top and snip what's left. You'll feel it. It's a pretty substantial click. Now that we've cut through that steel bar, we're going to slice away this whole T-shaped piece that we have. And I would use a razor knife if I had it, but I didn't bring it with me, so I'm going to make several passes with my pocket knife till I get through it. And I'm cutting right up against the part that we want to keep, so I'm basically trying to make that as smooth as possible when I cut. Okay, we'll do that for all the holes, and then you're going to get a cleaner finished hole if you drill from the back side flat against the board. If you try to drill from the top side, it's going to bow in and you won't get a very good cut. So carefully transfer your center mark to the back side. And we're going to drill right through the center, left to right. Be careful with this part because your drill bit will try to walk. It might be wise to pre-drill it with a pilot bit, maybe like an 1/8 inch or a little bit bigger. I'm just going to go for it and try to keep my bit in the middle. There you go. We're going to do that with all 5 holes on each piece of weather strip. All right, we've got all the holes drilled. Now we're going to put the weather strip back in the channel. It's going to stick back down with some 3M VHB tape. You're going to want to clean off any of the big pieces of tape left behind from the factory when you took it off. So I did most of ours ahead of time. Then you want to at least get the dust out of this channel so the tape has a better chance of sticking. You don't need a lot of this. I'm probably going to go a little overkill, but it's not necessary. You saw how much was on from the factory. I've got my tape installed and got the backing peeled off of it. And I should have mentioned before I put the tape on, I did test fit this to make sure I liked where the holes were. There's a little bit of wiggle room because we've got a 3/4 inch spacer and we used a 7/8 inch hole saw bit. So that has a little bit of forgiveness. If you've got one that's not lined up, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. This is going to be sealed in with some clear sealant, and also the roof rack covers this up anyway, so you've got some forgiveness there. So I did like where the holes were. Now that the tape is installed and peeled, I'm going to start at the back and clip this little slot in with this tab on this back piece. Put it where it belongs. Then I'm going to work my way forward and drop it into place. So I'm going to basically put it in place based on where the holes are and when those snap in together. So I'm going to bring it up to here, pull it into place, stick it down, and the same thing all the way up to the front. Snap the front in. Once your truck has some time out in the sun for this to all heat up, that should activate that 3M tape and give it a really permanent bond. All right, we'll do the same thing on the other side. The first step in assembling the actual rack is to put one of these extrusions on the back of the fairing. These 2 rows of holes in the fairing line up with the 2 tracks in the extrusion here. To attach that, we've given you some of these sliding nuts. They can either slide in from the end or they can roll in from the top. And one nice thing to note about these extrusions and the way they sit on the rack is they sit completely flush with the top of the rail to give you a nice seamless look. Okay, so what we want to do is put in all 8 of these sliding nuts in line with the holes so that when we set this on top, we'll be able to see the threaded holes. We'll set the fairing on top of the extrusions and line up the holes. For now, all we're going to do is start the bolts. Once we get all 8 of them in, we'll come back and Loctite them individually. These are the 1/2 inch long 1/4 bolts. All 8 are started. Make sure that the end of the extrusion is flush with the end of your fairing on both sides. Then we're going to Loctite these and snug them down. It's a 5/32 hex head. We're going to finish the front fairing with this edge trim. So we send you 4 feet. You won't need quite that much. So start at one end and cut off your excess at the other end. This piece isn't necessary. It's just a nice little cosmetic touch. All right. There's one more optional step for the front fairing. If you have a light bar and you want to install it now, it's these brackets. These are kind of a universal bracket that pretty much whichever light bar you choose, depending on the width of it, you can install it either way. If it's a narrower bar like that, if it's a wider bar, you'll install it like that. And you can do this after the rack is on as well. But this was designed for a 40-inch single row LED bar. You've got a couple different options as far as which order you do this in. If you've got a couple helpers, it might be easier to assemble this on the ground and then set the whole assembly up. I'm doing it by myself, so I'm going to install it as we go on the truck. So that means first I'm going to do the mounts loosely, then I'll bolt the side pieces onto those mounts, and then I'll finish with the fairing and the cross members. So as far as hardware goes, the kit that we used on the fairing has 4 extra longer bolts, 1-inch long bolts, and they will go through the slot in the side into the fairing, into the extrusion in the fairing. This rear fairing will use nuts and bolts from a separate part of the kit, so you'll use a 1-inch long bolt and then a lock washer and a washer and a nut on the inside. Whenever you're threading directly into the extrusions, I recommend that you use Loctite on the bolts. And as far as hardware goes, when you bolt the extrusions to the side, we send enough washers for you to use a flat washer with every bolt. Now my rule of thumb is I think it looks cleaner without the washers, so if I'm using the pre-drilled holes, I typically don't use washers. I don't think they're necessary. But if I'm going to use one of the slots for the extrusion, I think it's a good call to go ahead and use the washer. So it's up to you, but we send enough washers to put a washer with every bolt if you like. So I'm going to start with the mounts on the passenger side of the truck. So let's do that now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and loosely install the brackets to the roof. So we've got bag D, so that's hardware kit 174D. It says roof mounting hardware. We're going to use these stainless 6mm bolts to go down through the spacer into the roof. I've got the clear sealant and I've got the spacers. So this bracket that's universal, it can be left or right. This is the rearmost bracket. The larger of the slots go down and the bottom leg faces in. So it's going to go just like this on the truck. The center bracket is just for a single. Again, the larger slot on the bottom, and then that leg goes inwards. And then this one that's sloped down on the front, this is the front bracket, and then the leg goes inwards, smaller holes to the side, bigger holes to the bottom. So we're going to give a pretty healthy dose of clear sealant around the hole. Then I'm going to squish the spacer down in around the sealant, and then I'm also going to put sealant around the bolt when I put it in. So let's just start with this one. Okay, so sealant all around. Don't worry if you get some in the threads, that's actually going to be a good thing. I'll squish this little spacer down in there. I'll grab my 6mm bolt and a washer and run it through here and find that threaded hole and get it started. And that's as far as I'm going to go for now. I want to make sure my bolt is good and started, and I'm going to do this with all the other brackets, and then we'll start putting roof rack pieces on. Next, we're going to bolt this first side rail on. It uses the rest of the same hardware from that kit D, and we've got bolts, flat washers, lock washers, and nuts. So you're just going to line up the 2 slots on the side panel with the 2 slots in the bracket. So I'm going to be careful not to let it scratch the truck while I get the first few started. Flat washer, lock washer, nut. This is the same process if you've pre-assembled your rack. I'm going to go ahead and go to the back so I can let go. All right, now we'll just put the rest of them in. With both sides on, now we're going to start connecting the 2 sides together. And I'm going to start with this rear fairing. You're going to use hardware kit 174C. It says rear fairing hardware. It's just 4 bolts with some flat washers, lock washers, and nuts. We've got the little beaver tail that's going to slip right over the antenna and give you the clearance that you need. And this part is pretty self-explanatory, just bolt it in. All right, now we're up front, we're going to put on our pre-assembled fairing. This part would be a little bit easier with a helper, but you can definitely do it by yourself. Just going to run these bolts through the side in that slot that I pointed out earlier, into the threaded, into the extrusion. All right, at this point we still have everything loose. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, if it's not adjusted right, or if something looks a little curved. We'll straighten it up here in just a minute. We're going to use the rest of the bolts from kit A, 174A. It just says roof rack hardware, extrusion mounting hardware. Now I'm going to put the 4 extrusions in between the rails. Now it's completely up to you where you want to put them. For right now, I'm going to use the actual pre-existing holes and not the slots. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to get them all started on this side, let the other end rest, and then I'll go back to the other side and put the other bolts in. All right, now we're going to put the hardware in this side. Okay, the first step in getting this all adjusted is tightening down the 2 sides together. So I'm going to tighten the sides to the extrusions, including the fairing and the rear fairing. So I'll get all that buttoned up and then we'll start adjusting the rack to the truck. Okay, now I've got all the bolts tightened from the side panel to the extrusions and both fairings. So this thing is now square and straight. Now I'm going to center it left and right on the truck. So, which I've already done. I've got it centered all the way front to back, and now it's time to tighten down these bolts, which is a 10mm. And there's 2 more in the front and 2 more in the back. Be careful not to over tighten these. These are going into rib nuts in the roof of your vehicle. Now the bolts that go into the roof are tight. I've got that right where I want it. Now it's time to adjust forward, rearward, as well as up and down, and this is best done from the ground. As far as front to back, I don't think you'll see much difference. I think it's about the same, so I'm just going to use these 2 slots and center it. Although the only thing to look out for is to make sure you're not pushing on your XM antenna, and I've got a pretty good gap there now. So really, it's how high do you want it? Most people are going to want as low profile of a look as possible. I'm going to shoot for about 3/8 to 1/4 inch, and you really can't measure it because in here, right above the door, this pillar here sits higher than the roof. So what you really need to do is stand back at least probably 8 or 10 feet and just eyeball that line and just adjust it till you like it, and then try to match the other side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it on the lower side because I like a low profile look, but I don't want to take the risk of it adjusting any further and hitting something. I may change my mind when I get outside in the natural sunlight, but I think that's about where I want it. So I'm going to tighten this side down, make the other side match. With those side bolts tightened down, that wraps it up. So do another walk around and make sure you haven't missed any bolts tightened down. And if you want to put in a light bar or some backup lights or some handles, now's a good time to do that. You can get the 40-inch single row light bar on our website. If you want some more extrusions, we sell those as well in pairs, as well as the roll-in extrusion nuts. So that wraps it up. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have more questions, you can always reach out to us at backwoodsadventuremods.com.